In today's video, guys, we have got a very special guest. We've got that Martini Guy. He is one of my favorite analysts. I have been watching Martini Guy for a long time. I feel like he's got a really good finger on the pulse. And today, we're in for a treat because he's going to tell us about his top 3 altcoin picks for the coming weeks. If that sounds good to you guys, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and let's get into it. Martini Guy, welcome to the channel, man. Thanks for being here. How's it going?
It's my pleasure to be on the channel, and things are going, I don't know, Bitcoin's down, but everything is still going well because Bitcoin's above $40,000, and above $40,000, life is great.
Yeah, guys, I came across Martini Guy's channel and I started watching it, long before we actually met in person. But I understand that you have a new channel as well, right?
Yeah, I have TMG Trades now as far as YouTube channels go. So what I tried to do, because I was struggling to upload every day, and it is quite a problem for YouTubers because we do a lot of business as well as just YouTube. And when you're spending so long doing business, it can be very difficult to spend 4 hours a day making a YouTube video. And so what I decided to do was basically split up the content and take trading off of the main channel for the most part, and then just basically vlog it on my phone, and it's going really well is that channel. So yeah, that channel's called TMG Trades, by the way.
Yeah, guys, so if you want to kind of market insight on a technical analysis perspective, definitely go check out Martini Guy's channel, because on my channel we don't really talk about technical analysis. But Martini Guy, let's get into some of the altcoins that you're into. Which ones are you looking at right now?
So I'm looking at a few, as per usual. I'm actually doing an altcoin challenge on my main channel whereby I try and trade $10,000 into $100,000. So
Nice.
far, we're at $17,800 profit. We peaked at around $19,500 a couple of days ago. Bitcoin down a little bit since, but we're actually weathering this storm very well compared to the overall market performance, which I'm very pleased about. Sometimes awesome. It just doesn't go down very well when you're not weathering it very well with a challenge like this. But yeah, at the same time, so what am I interested in? Well, we doubled down actually on Opulous in yesterday's video. And the reason for that is Opulous have got a lot of things coming out over the course of the next kind of month. Like they've got these SNFT launches, because what they do with the Opulous project is they tokenize ownership of music rights. So the idea is that you can buy a passive income, this NFT. So if say your NFT costs you $50,000, for every time that song gets played, you make money. So essentially you're buying a small portion of the music rights and ownership of that song, meaning that indefinitely you will earn money from that investment. And so I actually really like the concept of this, because we all know that record labels, they're very centralized. They're not very fair towards the music artists. What this does is it allows the music artists to cash in early on some of the rights to the music that they create, so essentially allowing them to take a bunch of money up front, selling a portion of the rights to the music that they create. So it allows them to have the cash flow rather than having to wait for the money to come in, which is great. It's something that record labels don't offer. But at the same time, it also allows the investors in that song then to gain a passive income, which is what we're interested in crypto. Passive income is what allows people to be financially free, essentially.
Yeah, if you guys need any more proof that music and NFTs are going to be a huge thing, Snoop Dogg, if you didn't know, bought Death Row Records and is turning it into a strictly NFT music record company. And also, deadmau5 is working on some projects right now. One of them is Moda DAO, which he's part of, which is music and NFTs. And then he's also creating Pixel Nix, which is like the music verse. It's huge. So this is cool. Thanks for telling me, man. I didn't know, at a $35 million market cap, down from a 90% all-time high, I see this one with a lot of room to grow.
Yeah, no, it certainly does, especially with what they've got planned and the way that it's grown in the past. I'm expecting some similar explosive growth when it all kicks in, and because it's when you generate the demand for the coin, because you can only buy the SNFT with this coin, is the way that it works. So you end up having periods of very high demand for the coin in order to purchase it, because you purchase it in US dollar value, meaning that it doesn't necessarily matter what the coin's price is, because say you're buying a $10,000 slot in something. Well, as long as your coins are worth $10,000, great. So it means that it doesn't affect the amount of confidence in buying the coin. This is the genius thing about this particular coin, is it doesn't affect the amount of confidence that you're buying the coin, because they're not valuing things in their number of coin, they're valuing it in dollars. So it means that as the price of the coin goes up, it gets easier for you to obtain these NFTs if you didn't already have a means of buying them. If you go 10x, well, suddenly you can afford it. And so that's why I think this is a pretty ingenious model, actually. Something I've been invested in for a long time, but I've been stacking it like crazy recently.
Nice. I'm gonna have to check it out. What's number 2?
Number 2 would be Stepn, but also kind of moving applications. I really like the idea behind Stepn. I'm sure you've got an opinion on it.
Stepn blew my mind actually, and I'm having a hard time comprehending if that's just because who was backing it and the fact that FTX was behind it and it launched at FTX and Alameda and Sam Bankman-Fried, or if it's because it is actually encouraging people to get up off their ass and go move, which is like in today's world where everyone's like working behind a computer. You know, if you can go earn some cryptocurrency and get your workout in at the same time, that's a great thing. With that being said, you know, I'm talking to another project called Walk-In, and there's another one called Move-In, I think, like. And then we also had Genopets, which Genopets, you know, is also, I'm really bullish on. Also another kind of like move to earn type of apps. I don't know, man. I'm curious to hear your opinion if Stepn is going to be that one kind of market leader first to market, or if there's room for others to come in.
Well, I know now, this is not a new concept. I want to point it out. Move to earn has been around for a while. I invested in DFIT and I invested in Dot Moves, both of which are moving projects, and their prices just consistently went down for the past 9 months. And then suddenly Stepn out of nowhere shoots 100x, and then these projects did like a 40x overnight because people are like, I want to get on the next one. So I can't tell if it's a sudden boom in demand because one thing did really, really well, or if we're actually going to see a huge growth in the sector. I imagine we'll see a huge growth in the sector, and I imagine that Stepn will become number one. As far as investment potential in Stepn, I don't know if it's good or bad. I feel like the price is very high right now with it having a $13.3 billion market cap. I feel like that's an insane valuation on any new company. Just to point out, and I'm not saying this is from a you should buy this coin. I just find it absolutely fascinating what is going on with these kind of movement coins, because it's such a clever, but it's something that we can do in crypto, but people can't do it in the traditional world, which is why I guess we have a problem with worldwide obesity. But I mean, I fall in that category as well. So
one of the things, guys, if you're watching this too, like what you have to, if you look at Stepn right now, what I'm checking out right now too is the circulating supply is 10% of the total supply, right? So there's 600 million circulating, 6 billion total. That means that we've got 90% of the tokens that are going to come into circulation over the course of, I don't know how long it is, but one thing I would suggest if you're considering coming into something like Stepn is go do your own research and look at the emission schedule and see, you know, when do these coins start coming into circulation?
A lot of these coins that did do like a 40x last week because of Stepn, a lot of these coins have now retraced again about 80% from that pump, because essentially now all the VC that didn't dump during the last pump now did dump, which means that now those coins have had a full reset. All of their coin circulation from VC is now in supply. So now what I'm looking at is trying to find the best one of those. And for that, I guess one of the key metrics that I look at is the amount of money raised versus the amount of money spent. Because if you've spent all of your money that you raised, then you don't have any marketing budget. So you're not going to be able to gain the adoption that you want unless you come up with a very clever kind of model around your token. But I feel like buying into the ones that are like a $3, $4, $5 million market cap, say they've got 20 mil in the bank, that sounds attractive to me. And so that's basically where I'm looking to put one of my next plays.
And what's number 3?
It would be Elrond. As far as big caps go, it's my favorite big cap. It's my largest holding. I actually hold more Elrond than I do Bitcoin. We're starting to see a lot more new projects launching on Elrond, but they're very successful at the launches. Elrond is probably one step behind Polkadot in terms of the size and growth of their ecosystem. Polkadot is more mainstream, obviously. Polkadot, a lot more people know about Polkadot, but less people know about Polkadot than Ethereum. So if you were to label them, you would go Ethereum, Polkadot, and then Elrond falls on whatever next tier lies below Polkadot. But I'm expecting this year for Elrond to get on Polkadot's level, essentially due to the amount of development and investment in the Polkadot network.
And lastly, let's talk about Cold DAO for a minute, because I brought that to your attention, I don't know, maybe a week ago, and I've noticed that you went in pretty heavy, and I've continued to, I think, buy up dips, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. So now my current investment into Cold DAO is about kind of $65,000-$70,000. So I'm in bigger than I really should be, to be honest. This is a bit irresponsible. But you never know. Like if you go 100x from here, like bam, 7 mil, it would be nice. And it's been a while since we've seen the explosive kind of social media growth in not necessarily a meme coin, but a very interesting project is what I would describe Cold DAO as. Something that is different, something that's unique, something that I've not really seen so much of before. I've seen DAO before, but this is DAO, but done in a way that I feel like is more sustainable. And I just really like the way that it's marketed. And if it gets these big exchange listings from this volume, that's where we see big adoption.
Well, as a guardian, I could tell you that they're definitely in talks. One of the interesting things is that, you know, that Cold DAO caught decentralized exchanges off guard. Now, I can tell you, one of the largest exchanges in the world was keen to list it several days ago. And I was in this chat for 24 hours and they didn't know how to deal with on-chain taxation, right? So like, this is something that is built, that you can program into smart contracts. Most meme coins, this is not called out, I don't think it's a meme coin, has a great meme culture, but it's not a meme coin. Like on-chain taxation is smart, right? How do you offset staking rewards? How do you offset inflation? How do you encourage long-term holders and discourage sell pressure? You create on-chain taxation. This is the same thing that any economy in the world does, is taxation. And this is how the treasury gets funded. But this exchange didn't know how to deal on the reconciling their accounts when you have to transfer and 0.4% the transaction gets taken out. And so they're scrambling right now to try to, because the volume is absolutely massive. It reached $120 million in 24-hour volume a few days ago, and for something just trading on a DEX, even today, doing $40 million in trading volume is huge. So of course they really want to get this on the exchange. And so, I'm looking forward to that. But more importantly, like, it's a really interesting idea that now has over $3 million in the treasury to invest into early stage deals and things that are going to make money for every stakeholder holding Colt.
I think I agree with that statement. I think it does look really good for the future.
Yeah, well, thanks, man. Thanks for coming on. That's all. Guys, go check out Martini Guy's channel. He's got two of them, that Martini Guy and TMG Trades. Jordan, thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate your time.
It's been a pleasure. And yeah, go subscribe. Link in the description.
See you guys.